Welcome to the Turing test. Today we're diving deep into the art and science of prompt engineering, where every single word is critical for turning gibberish into genius.
Absolutely, it's like, wow, each sentence can really shift an AI's response.
Right, so let's kick things off with this debate. Is prompt engineering dying or just evolving? Some folks online, like that exploding Hacker News thread from July 1st, 2025, claim that context engineering is the future. They argue that when you can inject entire libraries into your context, clever phrasing might not be needed.
Yeah, that perspective sort of makes you wonder. If we can feed whole libraries, why bother meticulously crafting a prompt? But then, remember the June 19th article in Lenny's newsletter? It pointed out that abandoning prompt craft can cause a 12% drop in answer quality.
Exactly. It's like, you're not just throwing out one-liners anymore. It's evolved into orchestrating entire pipelines, system messages, developer queues, and dynamic snippets. You basically become an orchestra conductor, not just a street magician.
Right. It's a bit like managing an ensemble where every instrument matters. Still, I have to ask, do you think that relying so heavily on context might dilute that personal human touch we value in communication?
Good question. I think there's definitely a balance. You need to give the model enough direction without overloading it with extraneous details. It's like giving it a compass rather than a whole encyclopedia.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Now, shifting gears to our next hot topic, zero-shot, few-shot, or many-shot prompting. Lakera AI's guide from May 2025 lays it out pretty clearly.
Right, so for rote tasks, zero-shot might work well. For style mimicry, few-shot is handy. And when formatting precision is mission-critical, many-shot becomes the way to go. But here's the twist. When you have massive 1 million token models, packing in 80 tiny examples, a whole prompt library can actually beat both zero and few-shot approaches, especially for data wrangling.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. But don't you think that catering so many examples might introduce latency issues? Users aren't going to wait over 5 seconds for a response, right?
Exactly. That's why experiments show a sweet spot. Around 5 illustrative examples paired with a short, clear header. It's like giving the model just enough guidance to be sharp without being bogged down.
It's, like handing out hints for a treasure hunt instead of the full map, enough to steer you in the right direction.
Exactly. Now on to chain of thought reasoning, a real hot debate. OpenAI's specification from February 12, 2025 marked a shift by default hiding the raw chain of thought.
Right, they did that, citing risks like leakage of proprietary data and unaligned reasoning. But on the flip side, transparency advocates argue that not revealing this process makes it tough for researchers to audit biases.
Correct? In fact, a system card study from March 2025 showed that monitoring the full chain of thought actually reduced reward hacking in coding agents by about half. So we're seeing a safety versus oversight trade-off.
Makes you think, should we reveal, hide, or maybe selectively reveal parts of that chain of thought? I mean, bullet points instead of the full internal dialogue seem to be a good compromise.
Precisely. It gives you a high-level roadmap without exposing every little internal detail. Now, let's move on to another raging topic, jailbreak prompts.
Oh yes, the cat and mouse game. Researchers at Ben Gurion University showed that crafty roleplay prompts can still get around major chatbot safeguards.
Right, and with the jailbreak subreddit constantly churning out new attack vectors, it's clear that safety teams are in a perpetual arms race. One user even boasted bypassing February's safeguards to list hacking vectors.
Yeah, it's wild. But here's something interesting. Prompt engineers are rolling out defensive patterns, such as embedded refusal triggers and self-critique loops. Early tests show a 30% reduction in successful jailbreaks.
True, but nothing is ever bulletproof. It's like layering defenses in a castle. You can make it really hard for an attacker, but you can never be 100% secure.
I agree. And to that point, launching a consumer bot on a simple trust me mode is a bad idea. It just invites more trouble than it's worth.
Exactly. Now, on to our final big question. Will agentic frameworks and large concept models replace handcrafted prompts? Some in the industry say they map directly from intention to action, making careful prompt engineering obsolete.
Right. But then you have discussions, like that May 2025 Medium essay, that argue, the craft doesn't vanish. It just moves up a level. Even these autonomous agents need system prompts that instruct them when to plan, when to use tools, and even how to self-debate.
Exactly. It's like upgrading from cooking with a recipe to having a master chef design the dish, but you still need the fundamentals in the kitchen. The guardrails, whether they're in plain text or JSON schemas, are still essential.
Absolutely. It means that if you're a product lead, you shouldn't let your prompt engineers go. They're, the architects of your AI's behavior, and in many ways, its constitution.
Spot on. The evolution here is not about eliminating the human touch, but about refining and evolving it to match increasingly sophisticated AI models.
Yeah. So, to wrap things up, let's go through a rapid-fire set of takeaways.
1. Even though context windows are enormous now, concise instructions still trump long, rambling inputs.
2. Mixing about 5 well-crafted examples with a clear goal has emerged as the sweet spot for most interactive tasks.
3. Asking for high-level, sanitized reasoning rather than raw chain-of-thought strikes the right balance for oversight and safety.
4. It's crucial to harden against jailbreaks with layered prompts and additional runtime filters.
And 5. No matter how agentic and autonomous your AI gets, those guardrails, the system prompts and instructions, remain vital, proving that prompt engineering is not dying, but evolving.
Right. It's like the craft is being reimagined rather than replaced.
Absolutely. Now, thinking about where all of this is headed, what do you see as the next big challenge in the world of prompt engineering?
Well, I'd say scalability and latency remain huge challenges. As we pack in more and more context, optimizing for speed without sacrificing quality is going to be, incredibly critical.
I totally agree. It's like trying to balance having too many chefs in the kitchen. The more you add, the more you risk overcomplicating the recipe.
Right, exactly. Plus, the idea of dynamic, adaptive prompting, where the system tweaks its pipeline in real time based on feedback, really spices things up.
Yes, a self-adjusting prompt system sounds like the ultimate evolution, learning which instructions work best in real time, just like a chef refining a recipe with each service.
Very exciting stuff. Still, I do wonder, could we eventually see a time when prompt engineering becomes almost entirely automated, reducing the role of human ingenuity?
That's a valid critique. While automation may take over some of the grunt work, I believe there will always be a need for human intuition and oversight. It's like even the best self-driving car designers need someone to taste test the journey.
Yeah, having that human element ensures that AI remains safe, ethical, and aligned with our goals.
Absolutely. So, as we peel back the layers of prompt engineering today, from its evolving techniques, the balance of context versus conciseness, chain of thought debates, jailbreak challenges, to the role of agentic frameworks, it's clear that the craft is just getting more sophisticated.
It's been an engaging dive into how every sentence and every prompt shapes the AI's behavior. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how these trends evolve further.
For sure. Thanks for this deep dive, and here's to keeping our prompts sharp and our insights even sharper.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep questioning, keep iterating, and keep those words impactful.